hear me?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Live, loud and full effect. Building. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear us, ladies and gentlemen? It sounds like that we're live. It sounds like we're live. I think we are, people. I think we are. So you know what that means. It's another episode of Life's Botch, featuring your favorite neighborhood Prince of Botch, baby. We are in the building. You know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
Happy, Thursday? Yeah, happy Thursday. But you're probably listening to this on this Friday, so happy Friday if you're listening to this. And you're probably listening to this on Six Families Radio. Well, actually, no. Yeah, you could possibly be listening to this on Thursday if you're on Six Families. Regardless of where you're listening, how you're listening. See, that's the beauty of a Botch, baby. You never know what day, what month, what year, all that. But you're still having fun in the process. Either way it goes, welcome to I guess you could call this a review edition, or you could call this
a bonus.
A bonus episode, call it what you want to call it. I mean, y'all know I usually come through with the interviews, and we got more coming up. Got some real lined up, you know what I'm saying? But I had to bring in my homeboy, my guy. If you are a faithful Botchamaniac, you've already heard him on previous episodes. Now, if you're new, hey, thank you for tuning in. Nice to meet you. How you doing? I'm your favorite Prince of Botch. And I'd like to say, if you're listening on TuneIn Radio, there's a little heart right up there. Go ahead and just click that heart real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Smash it.
Doing Six Families Radio a favor by clicking that there heart. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or you're a Spotify-alien out there, go ahead and, hit that little subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? And on Apple, go ahead and leave that 5-star rating for me real quick and just, let us know what you're feeling, how you feeling. Introduce yourself, say who you are, so we can shout you out on the next episode. You already know how that goes. But, once again, to my faithful Botchamaniacs, well, y'all already know this, man. I'm sure, hopefully, you've also subscribed to his podcast shows as well, because my man is grinding it out, doing big things, doing things with the streaming, doing things with the constant content, and also doing constant interviews as well. This man is a man of many, many, many trades. But if this is your first time listening to my guy, well, again, I'll let him give y'all some introduction, but I'm going to introduce my man. This is my brother from another mother. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Highlight Reel represents one half of its Life's a Botch Tag Team Champions of the World, the Gresham Unleashed. And, well, your neighborhood Prince of Botch.
There we go.
Is. We are the modern new age outlaw.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And well,
and of course, if you're not down with that,
we got two words for you. I'll let my partner take this one over. Go ahead and tell him, Josh.
I'm gonna keep it PG.
Oh, one time for the PG era. Oh, there we go. Oops, did I say that? Here we go. Anyways, this is my man, Josh Gresham from Gresham Unleashed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you are listening over from your main source of entertainment, now I'm just playing. It's your boy Gresh. It's your boy Gresh, and yeah. My brother, how you have been doing your thing. You're doing your thing. You are my DOGG. You are my road dog. Yes, sir. So,
yo. And you already know, man, you the man with the plan. You know what I'm saying? You ain't kissing asses, you kicking asses, if you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Therefore, I had to say it like that. Y'all know I normally don't say those little words like that, but I got to say that because, well, that's attitude error slang, because what else would I say unless I said dirty error, but it ain't going to sound the same. So you got to say it the way it is. But nonetheless, this is my favorite outlaw right here over here. And it's been a while since we had you on the show, my guy. So welcome back. It's good to have you on. You know what I'm saying? And as always, keeping it animated and entertaining. You know what I mean? For the people out there listening and watching, because I forgot to shout out my YouTube folks. What's happening? How y'all doing?
If
Shout
you
out.
are watching on YouTube, you're now seeing me with the too sweet. I've never done it in my life, but here you are.
There you go.
Screen grab it, do all whatever you want to do. Too sweet.
There you go, baby.
There we
Is
go.
what it is. You know what I'm saying? But Josh, yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. And I see again, you've been grinding as well, my guy, keeping
Whew.
them in this crazy season that
Yeah.
hasn't really gotten back to normal. So we've gotten
Nah.
used to what I guess today's normal in wrestling is. So I see you found ways to kind of, I see you step back from the reviews a bit,
Yeah.
because it was weird with no crowds for a while.
It's
But
like, what
then
are
I
you
see,
talking about? Yeah.
yeah, but then I see they just kind of made a way to innovate it and just take talent, put them in the, I guess it's better than cardboard cutouts. Baseball, NFL. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess it's better than cardboard cutouts, but see AEW and WWE. Well, WWE's. Let's just be honest. You guys are copycatting from what AEW was doing because you didn't even do it until you realized what was happening. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Now, Impact Wrestling, I see Impact hasn't really caught on to that trend yet. I guess they're gonna kind of
I
keep it
think because
silent.
they don't have a bigger roster when you think about it. Impact doesn't really have a major, like AEW has a solid roster,
A solid roster. Yeah, I mean
and
developmental talents. Yeah, I get what you mean there.
and
Like,
WWE, they got NXT crowds, and then NXT trainees, and I believe AEW just now started slowly incorporating outside people after they've been tested. So it's like you're kind of getting, and they have an amphitheater, so they can space
true.
everybody out for social distancing. So
That's
yeah,
true.
I
I
wouldn't
was
put
curious about
yeah.
Impact though. I was wondering what is Impact constantly doing their shows from? Because they would normally
They're
travel
doing
and
it
kind of.
in Nashville. They're in Nashville. Like
Okay,
they have they're in Nashville, so they're currently still.
so they still have their warehouse in Nashville. Okay,
Yeah.
so very WWE like, but they do have now. Maybe that's just probably because it's OVW, but I was gonna say they do have their developmental territory with OVW, that little partnership, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. So you would have thought.
Yeah, somebody got to let us know because I'm gonna be honest with you. Outside of Slammiversary, I did not really follow Impact like that.
And that's crazy because I'm an Impact guy, man. I really am. Yes, we exist. Okay, I've actually been an Impact guy. Really, just going back to their start, man. Even when they had their uprising, and yes, Hulk Hogan and Bischoff freaking killed it along with Dixie Carter, but they've still bounced back. I'm proud of what they've been doing. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I get that there's a lot, which is going to tie in a lot to what I have to say with the theory I was tagging you on Twitter about, my friend. We're going to get into
called
that.
me at 10 p.m. I'm like,
10 p.m.,
I'm asleep. And I'm like, I have no response. I'm just like, okay, please do continue.
Yes. So we're gonna get in that to today's show, but first and foremost, real quick, talk to the people. Again, those who are brand new, tell them a lot about Mr. Josh Gresham and the many things that you do with the Gresh Unleashed podcast.
Y'all got time? All right. Y'all got time. All right, let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
I do a lot. Like I've been through in the game, so to speak, for like 10 years now. I've been doing it for on and off a long time. I just 5 years ago taking it serious, put it that way. Yeah. The podcasting game, man, it was just me talking crap about wrestling. Like, you got some people out there who literally do it because this is their job, but they're getting paid to do it. I'm like, I'm a fan of wrestling. I'm just gonna talk crap about it. Then with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, I started spinning off. Like, I did a whole spin-off podcast where I'll be talking about social injustice. Black Lives Matter. We're gonna say that today we die.
There we go.
But yeah, with me, I'm more of a. I give my point of view from a fan's point of view. Like, I try not to step beyond my means because let's be real. I have yet to take a bump. Do I plan on taking a bump? Probably not. It depends on if I just say, you know what, I'm gonna be a 26-year-old wrestler. But it's like I look at it from a fan's point of view, and I'm like, if this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. If it's crap, I'm gonna tell you. I don't sugarcoat it. I was never raised to sugarcoat anything. So it's if you check out Gresh Unleashed, it's pretty much me just being me, and I incorporated it into a 2-part thing now. I don't do 2-hour episodes because people don't want to sit down and watch a one-man show for 2 hours.
Come
So
on,
they
man.
were like, okay, I do part 1, part 2, Friday,
Mhm.
Saturday, but this week I'll be doing Saturday, Sunday. Um, so it rotates
Yeah.
basically. But yeah, it's a laid back podcast. I'm animated. I got a soundboard, so I just do random soundboards when I do solo.
Yeah.
So that's my game.
That's the game.
That's the game. I
Come
do
on,
the
man.
YouTube stuff too, the reaction stuff, but
Yeah.
the podcast
Yeah.
is the main thing.
Oh yeah,
The
he gets it
podcast is
in.
the main thing. Yeah,
He,
yeah.
he gets it in, people. I mean, like again, I had the pleasure of meeting this gentleman through the hardest working man in OTS. Shout out to Mr. Derek Myers, because this man bridged the gap between two fans who love wrestling, who have watched wrestling all their lives, and pretty much connected two animated people. And before you know it, hey, a great relationship was formed. And since then, whether it's on Twitter, reaction videos, whether it's, podcasting, talking trash about what we're seeing on television, what's going on, all that good stuff. We are here to provide entertainment in any way, shape, or form. And like my brother here, y'all know me already. I do the same thing. Bring a fan's perspective. Have I taken a bump? No, I haven't. Would I? Like my man Gresh, if you want to be a 30-year-old wrestler, if I want to be on my DDP-ish, maybe. You never know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I gladly take a chair shot or something. I don't know. Whatever. You know what I mean? But again, bringing the fans' perspective, and I guess you could say I do kind of give you guys, the negatives, but I
Yeah.
kind of try to do it in a positive spin for the most part.
Like I try to
try to
look
be
at it at
fun.
their point of view, but if it's downright terrible, we're going to tell you.
And see, me and him are so like opposite in a great way. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes a dope tag team most times. You know what I mean? When it comes to this kind of stuff, that's what makes such a dope tag team, because, well, I might be the somewhat nice good cop kind of way, still give it to you and say, hey, oh, that was a bad show, right? But in a very calm way. This guy, not so much.
I will have the Fiend Bray Wyatt. I will have that sound bite just with his laugh. Like I will be laughing at this entire show. I'm like, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it.
It ain't it, brother. It ain't it. But it is always great to connect with my fellow wrestling fans out there and just let them know, like, hey, we're fans like you guys. We love what we do, but we do it with a grind, man. And what makes us different from other podcasts, you say? Well, simple. You got to check it out and listen first before you know that one. Ha! Bait, baby. That's how you reel them in. You know what I mean? That's what you do. You reel in. But anyways, real quick, going into the start on this bonus edition of Life's a Botch podcast, I had a couple of subject matters I wanted to bring up to you, my friend, and kind of get your introspective, your wrestling intake, and see what you got to say. So first and foremost, let's kind of start this thing off with Miss Kairi Sane with her farewell address and tribute to WWE. The rumors had been swirling around for months on what was she going to do, was she going to stay. We knew she was missing her husband in Japan and missing the Japan scenery. And of course, in the midst of a pandemic, that doesn't make it any better. So of course, you're going to want to be near your family, your loved ones. So alas, her time has officially come to an end with WWE, and it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
I will say it is a very bittersweet thing because, well, her main roster run has not been all that great. And it's no fault of hers. It is definitely, unfortunately, the way the creative wheel turns. And as always, the
Bruce
continues.
Vince
continues to turn that ugly wheel of bad side of creative. Therefore, Brother Josh, what are your honest thoughts and opinions on Kairi Sane? What will you remember about her WWE run the most?
Mae Young Classic. Her Mae Young Classic run, that would introduce me to her because she has, like, pun intended, the most incredible elbow drop I have ever seen, because everybody was so stiff with it for ever since. The last smooth elbow drop I ever seen was Shawn Michaels. So once everybody started incorporating the elbow drop in their arsenal, they were either so stiff or not energetic about it. Whereas with hers, and it's like with hers, you haven't seen people use it as a finish as of late. Like now, everybody.
Bailey. 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 Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. Love you, Bailey, but the elbow drop was not. It's not a good look.
Yeah, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, CM Punk's elbow drop wasn't even that good. To be honest with you, it was kind of,
Kind of almost forgot that he did that.
He did it but he did it as a setup to the GTS or whatever, or the Anaconda Vice. Yeah. But when it was like she had some sauce with it. Like she was like flowing with it. Like she had her arm like you just like about to hit it, and then her elbow drop, and then her little stomp into her sliding forearm. It was like the simplest moves that she did, because I was having this conversation with Derek. It's like everything has been so choreographed. So it's like when you see that one person that comes out with the smoothness of one simple move and that's their finish, you be like, yo, I'm a fan. And it's because of her I was introduced to I was introduced to what was it? Stardom. I was introduced to Stardom because of her. So I started doing my research because I was like, because I was trying to figure out who was Kairi Sane, and it was like Kairi Hojo. I'm like, who the heck is Kairi Hojo? And then I looked, it was her, and I'm like, oh, so I appreciate her Mae Young Classic run and her NXT run, because of course she went her matches with Shayna Baszler were.
Her talk about some really dope chemistry that they had. Like they had really, and honestly, I have to agree with you on both accounts, honestly, because her elbow was like unlike one I've ever seen. Like you said, the sauce, the way she would curl, it looked believable. It looked like it legitimately hurt, because aside from Macho Man's and like you said, Shawn Michaels, anyone after that, before Kairi, it was just like, like you said, setup, if anything. But if that beat somebody, it was like, no way. That doesn't look believable. But hers looked devastating. Like you felt that. And if the right person sold it, it was even better. It was just like, wow, that was devastating.
Yeah, it always depends on, it takes two to make something look beautiful. And if one person is stiff and sandbags you, it's not your fault. It's the fact that they suck. So
exactly, you know what I mean. But she was definitely, those Mae Young Classics definitely told the tale for me with her, and even really with her NXT run. Her NXT run was, to me, the highlight extended of that, because of the fact that, again, her and Shayna Baszler were able to recreate their magic. Some would argue and say that their Mae Young Classic magic was better than the NXT magic per se, but she still had some really good matches with people in NXT. I mean, I think about the Triple Threat, or was that a Fatal 4-Way? No, I believe that was it was a Fatal 4-Way. Yeah, Fatal 4-Way. I believe it was Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler, Bianca Belair, and I believe Io Shirai. Yeah.
Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah,
Yep.
Fatal 4-Way.
That takeover. Yep. I remember that.
Just different things like that, and she had very good runs. And I believe, wasn't she in a War Games, I believe, as well? Was she not?
That was EO, because that was EO. Yeah, it was EO, because Kairi, to me, I believe she was called up early.
At that point, she was. Yeah.
Because when you look back at her NXT run, I think her NXT run was a little prematurely ended, because I believe that, because remember, EO turned heel, and they end up putting Candice in Kairi's spot because Vince wanted Kairi up in the main roster. Yeah. I honestly believe to this day that Kairi was supposed to be the one that was turned on by EO, and that would have been, even though that match between EO and Candice was out of this world, great. Yes. I believe that it was supposed to have been Kairi versus EO, and that would have been through the roof. That would have been through the roof.
And just scenarios like that make you just really say it's a shame that her WWE run, it could have been so much better, and again, this is no fault of hers.
Right.
It's just the fact of premature building, premature call-ups, and that's the tale of a lot of people. I think about Apollo Crews. I think about so many different people from NXT who didn't really have a chance to, like, really develop, But I look at the fact that with Kairi, man, it just even with her and Asuka being the Kabuki Warriors at first, I remember how we reacted to that. Like, oh man, that's just typical.
Yeah.
That's racist. How you gonna put the two Japanese people together and just assume they're this like that? But it worked. Yeah, you know, it worked. It took some getting used to. You know, they had the real bad mush mixed music between Kyrie's and Asuka's.
It was like her music. Then they went to her. They could have just came out to Asuka's music if you want to be real, like because Asuka's music was more bad, was more bad than like in a good way than Kyrie's because and especially if you're going to portray them as heels, so it's like.
Yeah, it was. Ugh. I mean,
and then they incorporated the green mist, and I'm like,
yeah,
I get it. It's a shout out to Great Muda, but I doubt that was the reason why. They was like, oh, she's Japanese. Tajiri did green mist. Just put it on Asuka. So
I'm telling you, man, and it's just crazy how all of that goes and takes tail the way that it did.
You see, they got ninjas now.
Yeah, don't get me started on that, boy. They really just, oh my gosh, like I sit there and I'm just like, man, this is so. What's next? You gonna have a black wrestler come out with some thugs now? You know, take your pick. You know what I mean?
Prime time.
No, I mean like a legit gang of thugs this time though. Not just
I'm
two.
about to say,
like you gonna have like somebody portray a drug lord, and he just got a bunch of like gang members who have like fake guns and stuff. Like, hey, break yourself, fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they getting beat up and jobbed out. Like, what's that?
You're giving them ideas because watch they do it.
Hey, just remember where you heard it here first, people. You heard it right here first.
You're giving them ideas.
Hashtag BLM, baby. You heard it here first. Just remember that.
Oh man, and, it's like I laugh at a lot of the current stuff because I laugh because it's so bad that I'm like I don't know.
I know, man. It does get very eerie, which is why that's why I emphasize that I'm such an Impact guy because and I like AEW as well. But again, I was just even with AEW, sometimes
AEW is not perfect. Like
they're not.
I can tell you that from the rip. Like that's the beauty. Like on my podcast, I have Wednesday Night Wrestling where I look into AEW and NXT, and it'd be sometimes I'm like, bruh, I will literally say I'm like, this was not good.
Yeah,
this was not good from top to bottom. Or certain matches they had its high points, but I people assume that someone tried to say I was an AEW mark. I'm like, bro, I butchered through everything. I don't care if you are AEW. I don't care if you AEW, NXT, NWA. Exactly. I don't care what it is. I will butcher through it.
And I agree because I can do that with Impact. Impact's not perfect. I mean, again, they have their moments where it's like, that was a little corny. I could have did without that part, but I mean,
KD Forbes.
Yeah, oh gosh, that segment was. I was like, what was that? The most horrible acting I've ever seen.
Did you pay attention to the Twitch viewers? I don't know if you watch on Twitch. Do you have?
I'm gonna try to watch it. I've never watched Impact on Twitch. I've always because I do.
Soon as she got on there, the numbers went from 5K. It was like I literally looked at it. That thing just said. It just went down. I'm like, bruh, this was not it.
I'm about to check that out, baby. I got to go back and look at that on Twitch because I literally just made a Twitch, so that's why I made one. I'm a little.
It's different from the TV because I think they do they do for the commercials. They just cut to Melissa Santos
oh nice.
So they cut and she just do like she interact with the viewers or whoever's coming in the chat.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
And then they'll probably play an old match. Like I know the first match after the recap. Like they do the moment of the week. The numbers went down because they played a match from Kevin Nash versus Scott Hall in Monday Night Impact. I said,
oh my God.
I said, y'all do know this ain't it, right?
Nah, it's not, man. And it's like, thank you, Impact sometimes for reminding us of the worst.
The worst.
Every
Monday Night Impact. Oh my God. Watching Kevin Nash versus Scott Hall, a slower Scott Hall from the 90s.
Yeah, nah, bro. Not
No.
it. Not it. You know, but when you see Impact 60 on Access and then you see a Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles, then you're like, oh, now you're getting somewhere.
Now you're getting somewhere.
That was the glory days, my friend. Those are the type of matches I want to relive.
But don't get us wrong. Impact had its good moments in 2010, 2011, or whatever, but it was mostly bad.
It was bad. Those. And it's gonna tie into our main squeeze of this here bonus episode. So we'll come back to that, and I'll get where that kind of reminds me, because you know these wrestling promotions are kind of starting to remind me of some things. So I'm gonna come back to that. But coming back to our moment with Miss Kairi Sane, me and my good partner here and my favorite tag team partner.
We just got sidetracked and everything.
You know, we got sidetracked, but we want to salute Kairi Sane for at least putting up with what she was given and making lemonade out of limes, baby. Because I mean,
that theme music that they did give Kairi and Oscar was a banger. That dun 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 dun.
Hey, you know, funny thing about that theme, I actually was at the live show here in Atlanta. It was actually, I believe, that was a birthday present to myself. So it was way before the pandemic. It was like late last year. But I went to a live event. They had it up here in Gwinnett at the Gwinnett Arena. Oh, yeah. And they had a little WWE live event. And it was the first time I had seen, the last time they were even up this way for anything was like a Monday Night Raw I went to back in like 2004. It was like the road to WrestleMania 21, where Jericho had his money in the bank. And Randy Orton RKO Jake the Snake. You know what I mean? I always remember that because that was the opening segment. But like literally, they actually debuted that theme song that night at that live show. And I remember seeing that and I was like, hold on, they got a new theme. Right. I'm like, okay. And then of course everybody and their mama saw it on Monday Night Raw that night. So I was like, I heard it first, baby. Knew about it. Life's a Botch exclusive, baby, but it's all good. But yeah, man, I want to salute them for, you know, I mean, she had some moments. I hate she had to go through the botches and what she went through with Nia Jax. Beautiful
Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. I got to make this known just in case you come across this. You are a gorgeous woman. You really are. But you gotta be more careful sometimes with these folks who wrestle, man. You can't just be throwing people around all willy-nilly like that. That's half the
You literally, don't get me started, because you literally heard her say, "I'm not ready." You literally heard it. You just said, "I'm like,
like, Brett, you can't do that, Nia. You too gorgeous for all that, okay? Like, literally, I'm not one of those that's gonna say you suck, because I've seen your potential. You got it. You just get careless at times.
Nia in NXT had potential. I will always say that. Nia in NXT, when she originally faced Asuka for that women's title at one of those takeovers, I forgot which one it was, because it was so many of them around that time. It was like, yo, she has potential. She just needs to stay down here. Then next thing you know, they're like, oh, she's getting called up to Raw. Why?
Exactly.
she still needs to hone her craft. Like,
exactly.
That's coming from a fan's point of view. I'm not even talking about from a wrestler. So it's like, like, come on. I can tell. I'm like, that ain't it.
She wasn't ready, and I get it, because the whole, she's so big, you know, that we've never seen a woman of this stature. Like, okay, I get all of that, but you still got to be ready. You know what I'm saying? Because if this was China in the days of when China debuted, let's put China in the modern day, right? Prime China, right? We remember her debut. So imagine NXT being around at that time. And she walks into NXT, and we know she's green as all get out, not ready for none of this, and suddenly just pulled up to the primetime Monday Night Raw. You don't think we're gonna be saying the same stuff? You know what I mean? And we love China. We love China because she trailblazed. May she
continue to rest in peace.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just saying, I'm doing this to paint a scenario to you guys, because even Beth Phoenix went through developmental, and she was ready when it was time. It was a little green at her start, but she glowed, you know, she developed and she was better. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, when you got these powerhouse, unique women-like figures, man, you can't just throw them in there just because they look different and stand out.
I'm about to say
Look at
look at Awesome Kong. I'm about to say look at Awesome Kong or Karma when she was in WWE.
Yeah,
She was solid in her feud with Gail Kim, and back we talk about Impact again.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like
She
there's
was.
good big women, but it's just more so you just got to make sure